Kolov will split. Kolov will hit and will win the first game of the day by getting the better of Simon Tason by 4 legs to 1. It wasn't vintage for the Viking, but he gets over the line nonetheless. Average of 77.66. 4 out of 9 on the doubles. He can at least be pleased with that, and you'd be pleased with the points that he's picked up. Coming up next, Kendrick Cordon up against Darl Pilgrim.
And like every year.
The one thing that's not up for debate is Pilgrim has been the dominant player in this match. But can Pilgrim pick the points up? Yes is the answer, as he pins double 10 for a 4-2 win, which temporarily puts him to the top of the pile. It wasn't vintage from the Flying Eagle, but he is off to a flying start. He gets the better of Kendrick Cordon by 4 legs to 2. That's how the game went statistically. Pilgrim missing 14 at a double, but it was not to any detriment for him. Next up, Jamie Owens, Yano Botenberg. Fire after a spell out. The 1-2-1 would put him in front. The bullseye would put him in front, and he finds it beautifully.
Well, he's taken his average up to 109.5. This is special. I'd say so.
No, 7 tops.
Should have gone 11 double 18.
Require 40.
Well, Jamie Owens is 3-1 down, and he looked completely out of this contest. If he pins his tops, then we go all the way. Lovely guide. Couldn't nestle it underneath, and so double 10. Open bed to aim at, and he finds, and we go all the way. Well, Bottenberg has been brilliant in this contest. Can he finish it off? Trapdoor. And he may well be left trapped.
Jamie require 40.
He's already missed the match start of this target. He limbers himself up. Bottenberg cannot look. Double 10. 1 left. Can he clip it off the barrel? No.
20.
No is the answer.
Yano, you require 12.
And so Bottenberg comes back. Both players have missed numerous match starts to win this contest. But it's Bottenberg that'll get the job done. It was a superb performance right up until the finishing line. Jamie Owens brought it back from 3-1 to a last leg decider before he missed match starts. It was Bottenberg that got the better of him in the end by 4 legs to 3. And it means that the top 4 players in this league table are all tied on 8 points. There's a 6-point gap from 4th to 5th, so table separations very much come into play. Coming up after the break, it's Boris Kolov up against... No, so it's Darl Pilgrim against Simon Tason.
Memories at this venue. Double 12. Oh, what a finish. This is really heating up here today. Most 1As in a game combined. 9. Gilliland against Luke Littler.
And we will go all the way to a last leg decider. 3 apiece. Because Mr. P will come back for double 10. To move on to 10 points in the table. 10 points is what he wants. And 10 points is what he gets as Darl Pilgrim moves to the summit of the table. He gets the better as Simon Tason in a last leg decider 4-3. It was hard work in the air, perhaps harder work than what it should have been for Mr. P, but it is a W nonetheless. Once again, missing 14 darts at a double in a contest, but getting over the line. Coming up after the break, we're going to watch Boris Kolov up against Yano Bottenberg. He's already had a 1-2-1 today. He's going to need to find another.
Oh, needed a treble.
57. Boris, you require 8.
2 4s for Kolov for a 4-1 win. And it means that he's also going to move on to 10 points in the group and denies Yano Bottenberg the opportunity to do likewise. A really good performance. The performance of the week so far. An average of 99.2, 4 from 9 on his doubles. Boris beats Bottenberg by 4 legs to 1. Coming up after the break, we're going to watch Kendrick Cordon in action up against Jamie Owens. Would have been a great find if he was able to float it over the top.
Well, he produced our first ton plus finish yesterday, and it was exactly a ton. And he's done it again. Wow, and a bit of emotion and a reaction. Have a mooch about. Never mind the opportunity to watch all the action.
Tops, and Owens with that 120 moves 3-1 to the good. He's one away from victory in this contest. See, that's where we are. Hi, everyone. That's where we're based, at the top of the building.
Kendrick, you require 74.
Oh dear.
One dart to take us all the way. We go all the way, and Kendrick lets us, but more importantly, lets his opponent know that we're going to the 7th leg.
7th and final
So
leg.
someone asked many times before where you're in a game that you feel like you should be winning, well, really comfortably, and he wants Tops to do it in style.
56.
How many more darts is he going to miss to that target? It's now 7 darts for the match. Cordon to take it from the grasp of Jamie Owens. Double 4. Owens' head is in his hands, and Kendrick Cordon has completed the comeback job. He was 3-1 down. He was nowhere to be seen in this game. But Jamie Owens missed a plethora of match darts. Encounter, gain 10,000. It's been great to have a trip down memory lane, but in the present, Pilgrim looking to move 2 points clear at the top of the group. And he's going to have a dart at double 16 to finish off with a ton topper. And it's Darl Pilgrim who will be the 10,000th winner of a match on the Super Series stage. And he does it in some style. A 112 checkout, an average in excess of 96, 4 out of 6 on the doubles. Well, we were hoping that this historic match was going to be a cracker. Well, both players provided that. Pilgrim, a 4-1 winner against Yano Bottenberg. Coming up after the break, we'll continue our trip down memory lane as we enjoy game 10,001. Simon Tason against Kendrick Cordon. For you, mate, which you'll get on to in the next leg, because Cordon is going to split for double 16 to square up at 2-2. He was 2-0 down in this contest, but he's responded superbly and level this to complete the job. Double 4 to win leg 4, and Kendrick Cordon has now picked up back-to-back wins. He beat Jamie Owens in match 6. He's now beaten Simon Tason in match 8, and it means the Belgian's bottom of the group. And Cordon, well, he's really reveling in the experience now, isn't he? It's only a couple of points off a Group B spot. He beat Simon Tason 4-2. Coming up next, Jamie Owens up against Boris Koltsov. Well, this would sting. This would be a pocket pincher if Koltsov could have pinned the double 18. His head's in his hands. Well, he may well be shaking the hand of Jamie Owens in a couple of moments' time. He feels like he has blown it. Thinks the dart's a cigar. Well, it was close, but no cigar on the double 18. But Jamie Owens crosses the line by 4 legs to 1. It's his first win of the day, an average in excess of 90. More like it for Jamie, as he says to the referee. He knows he can play, and he can play to a high level, and he demonstrated it there. It puts him on to 10 points, and it means that Darl Pilgrim will have the opportunity to move full clear in a couple of matches' time. But first up, Yano Bottenberg can put himself back to within a couple of points if he can beat Simon Tason up next.
It's a similar thing, isn't it? They don't...
For the match. And for 4-1 win, Simon Tason gets over the line against Yano Bottenberg. It's a performance that Yano is severely disappointed with. It's a win that Simon Tason desperately needed. His first of the day. That's the tail of the tape. Pilgrim Owens next.
Darl, you require 90.
May just be a dart at the bull. That felt very big and very safe. Middle of the diddle. Souls the riddle for Darl Pilgrim. The bullseye puts him 2-1 up. Mr. P once more. Double 16. And Owens owns the bragging rights against Darl Pilgrim once again. And he moves on to 12 points in the group. It was an opportunity miss for Darl Pilgrim. He had the chance to move 4 clear in the group with Boris Koltsov yet to play in this round. And so it means that there could well be a three-way tie at the top of the group come the end of Cordon against Koltsov. And that's what's following us next. And he's going to come back for 2 more in hand. And Cordon with a bounce out at the most ill-opportune time.
80.
But the time is now for Boris Koltsov. He's going to get a couple in his hand, a double 16. To secure a 4-1 victory, which puts him joint top of the group. We now have 3 players on 12 points, tied at the top of the table. And Boris Koltsov with a performance to tell those other 2 that I am in very good stead. An average of 92.19. 4 from 7 on his doubles. He's beating Kendrick Cordon by 4 legs to 1. We're off for a short break. And when we return, we're going to watch Jamie Owens against Simon Tason. It's the first match of the final round of fixtures. And you can watch it exclusively here on the Super Series YouTube channel.
We go into day 3 and the final day of Group A. Will this man be at the top of the table?
44. Simon, you require 101.
Tason looking to tee up a topper here. He's already had the 104 today. Is he going to add the 101 to the collection? Yes, is the answer. As he breaks Simon back Tason. And keeps this game alive at 2-1.
You require 40.
For the match. And for 14 points. Fighting guide. He's got another one. And this time he utilises it. And Jamie Owens gets the better of Simon Tason by 4 legs to 1. Moves him on to 14 points in the group as he completes his day's worth of matches. Nice embrace between the pair. Owens 4, Tason 1. Bottenberg Cordon is up next. Himself on 50.
136.
Cordon hasn't had a ton topper yet today, but that could change here. Double 8. It will change. And look what it means to Kendrick Cordon. The 136 goes.
Kendrick, you require 80.
Has to be careful here. Oh, just about. Tops.
Oh, is that point 40. Touching? No.
Yano, you require
so only 40.
May have got away with that.
The
Botenberg gets the double 5. He levels up at 1-1, but he...
81.
Ton 80 and ton 40 for Cordon has left himself an 81 after 9. And he's going to get a dart at the ball for a 12 darter, and he finds the ball for a 12 darter. He is showing flashes of brilliance in this game, is Kendrick Cordon.
90.
Oh, he's gone brave.
Well, it worked with the treble, but the double was so far wide that he heads back into the land
64.
of hope.
Yano, you require 70.
Bottenberg began his day of a win. And he's going to end his day of a win as he gets the better of Kendrick Cordon by 4 legs to 2. At the beginning of proceedings, it looked promising for Yano Bottenberg. He put in a couple of good performances to start, just tailed off towards the latter end of the day. He moves on to 10 points in the group. At the tail of the tape from that contest, Kendrick Cordon had his moments, but Bottenberg has bagged the points. Our final match of the day sees Boris Koltsov up against Darl Pilgrim.
That Darl can do about it.
108.
Well, he's hit his 4th max of the match. He's averaging 118. If he takes this out in 11, Darl Pilgrim, the man who holds the record average, could see that smashed against him.
56. Boris, you require 46.
What an incredible performance. Double 16 for an 11 darter, and Boris Koltsov is averaging 115.62. On 18s. Couldn't find the 18s. And Pilgrim with his phantom
98.
dart in
That
the
requires
background.
60.
The first architect of that really in this building. He's hoping to architect a comeback. But he has to find tops of this dart.
40.
Doesn't do so, and
Boris
so the hard
require
work to get himself
42.
back in this contest could be undone. Because Koltsov's going to get a couple more match darts. So double 18. Only
shot,
needs the
and
one.
the
And
Boris
Koltsov
Koltsov.
eventually crosses the line for 2. It's a superb start where he missed a match start to win 4-0. The average would have been in excess of 110 if it went. But then Pilgrim came charging back. Disappointed he couldn't complete the job. Koltsov wins 4-2. Just like he did on Monday, he gets the better of Darl Pilgrim. That's the end of the second day's play here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, where Koltsov tops the group alongside Jeremy Owens on 14 points. Pilgrim's just back on 12. Myself and Chris Mason will analyse all the action on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we completed the day's play on day 2 here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Chris Mason alongside. There's only one place ready to start, and that's with that last game. Boris Koltsov missing that match start for 110 plus average and just about getting over the line against Darl Pilgrim to top the table overnight.
Yeah, he was outstanding. And we've seen spells like that from himself and Darl and Jamie, of course, and Yano today in certain spells. And he's looked the most likely alongside those top 3. I didn't think anybody was going to move from the bottom 3 into qualifying positions. But I certainly thought the top 3 would juggle about a bit, and they did all day.
Well, let's round up the results from today's action. This is exactly what we've seen. Boris Koltsov winning that game against Darl Pilgrim means that he and Jamie Owens are going to be tied for the top going into the final day's play. Both of them on 14 points. Darl Pilgrim is on 12. Let's assess then the day altogether. And let's talk about Darl Pilgrim, because he'll feel like that last game was a real opportunity missed.
Yeah, I think it was something you picked up on this morning that I'd really sort of dismissed, and that was the fatigue element. The fact that he has been away, he has been on the Challenge Tour for 3 days, and then the commute all the way back down to here, and then, of course, starting so early in the morning, 9:30 start, meaning they're most of them in here by 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. And it just looks like in spells today, like it's taken its toll a little bit. And I think it's imperative that he finds a way through. For us to see the best of him on Saturday, I think it's imperative he finds his way through tomorrow so he gets that Thursday and Friday off.
Jamie Owens is second in the table. He's also on 14 points at the top of it. But it felt like at times a little bit of frustration was creeping in.
Yeah, I think that'll probably come with the expectation of yesterday being the overnight leader, the pressure, and then family and friends all contacting you. It's great to have that support, but it does bring a little bit of pressure. But the fact that he's had wins over the key players in the group, whether it be yesterday or today, I think it puts him in a good position tomorrow. And I think for him, I think it's important he just allows himself to play with a bit more freedom. Of course, he, very much like Gezi, comes from a very competitive team sport where it's a different mindset. There's a little bit more aggression there, and that'll be something that he will learn over time, of course.
It feels like a table of 2 halves, but in that bottom half, it felt like Kendrick Cordon had the best day today. Maybe not in terms of numbers, but in terms of picking up wins. He had some good moments as well, and we're looking at a player that's really growing in confidence. Yeah,
and he's going to be growing all the time. He's an 18-year-old kid. We can't constantly make these comparisons to Luke Littler. He's a phenom, and this is sort of the normal way you'd expect to see an 18-year-old. But let's not forget, he comes from a country that, is very new to the sport, and opportunities and facilities are slightly different. It's the first time he's sort of been away from home and flown and come this far away. So yeah, I think he's doing very well. I enjoy watching, young players sort of start to find their feet. And I think today in spells, you've seen a little bit more passion from him. There was a couple more fist clinch than we've seen yesterday, and yeah, he's pleasing on the eye. And listen, the fundamentals are there, and now it's just development and evolution.
You speak about the pressure of a young player, particularly now, because of what happened with Luke Littler. Does that come as a help and a curse at the same time?
I think you're spot on. I think it's both, isn't it? what he's done for the sport and the new eyes that he's put on our sport. When we, when I go to any kind of darting event, it's a much different audience. Walking around the supermarket, if I've just sort of come back from a tournament and that's been on TV, the question you always get asked is, how good's this Luke Littler? Whether it be in the pub, it's always the same thing. So he's been an absolute blessing. But for the young players, it's added a lot of pressure to them because they think, oh well, are you as good as Luke Littler? And very few are.
What advice would you give to a young player, and also maybe a parent of a young player that's got a promising prospect, to maybe just keep those comparisons at bay a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't compare yourself to those kind of people because they're one-offs. There was a question in the chat today, a young player saying, I'm starting to play youth county. How do I qualify for this? I understand that we're all impatient, but I think sometimes you're better if you just take a step back so you can take 2 forward.
Well, let's have a look at the table and get back to the here and now as far as day 2 is concerned, because Boris Koltsov and Jamie Owens both on 14 points going into the final day's proceedings. Darl Pilgrim a couple of points back. Yano Bottenberg will be hoping to get into Group B. That'll be his target on Wednesday. Kendrick, Cordon and Tason look as if they're going to be playing Group C on Thursday and Friday, respectively. Are we looking at a 3-horse race going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're the 3 most consistent players, but there has been inconsistencies, was what's made this group so fascinating. I think all Daryl's got to think is beat Jamie, beat Boris. Everything else takes care of itself, I think, and as long as he doesn't have any slip-ups, but it's in his hands, as it is for the players above him. Whether Boris beats Jamie and Darl, then it's job done.
Historic day today, 10,000 matches. It's been good fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It is good fun. Looking back, we see so much darts, it all blends into one. So seeing the bits of footage being played out, it's brought back some great memories, and hopefully we can bring you a few more. 10,000
games time, 2 years time. Shall we do it again?
20,000 games it will be then, of course. Yeah, no doubt I'll still be here.
Just another game of darts, isn't it, mate? Thank you for your company, as ever. Thank you for your company at home. Well, as far as today is concerned, it's Jamie Owens and Boris Koltsov that lead the table going into the final day. But it's been a historic day here at the Super Series as we cross the 10,000 game mark. And, well, what more drama, what more famous moments are we going to see in the next 10,000? We'll have to watch to find out. Balancheruk wants treble 19 and now double 12 to become the first ever female player to hit a televised 9-star finish.
Gonna get better than that too. A double 14.
Super Series champion.
The leading light. The Super Series. It's sweet success for the 16-year-old. Game. Shot and the Motor Super Series Week 9 champion, Bo Greaves!
It's history for Bo Greaves! Double 12! Yes!
Shot
Get in there, Lee Cox! What a way to win a game!
Goodness gracious me!
Tony Nishman!
Back-to-back 9 darters!
Double 16. It's
Game
destructive.
shot and
It's
match.
Darl Pilgrim with a
Darl
record
Pilgrim.
average here at the Motor Super Series of 122.69.
He's going to go ball. Oh my
Game
goodness.
shot and the match, Jericho.